So we are recording now. You have just seen that what happens in nutrition. In nutrition, we have seen all these organisms, they take food. And we say that food gives us energy. So how are we getting energy? So this energy takes place through a process called respiration. So in the respiration process, we have a series of changes that is taking place. How is food getting broken down into small components and energy is released? So let us see how it happens. Okay, the food provides energy for all bodily activities. You can see how the breakdown, when you inhale in and exhale out. So what is happening? The final utilization of the food. And you need a plenty of oxygen that requires normally for respiration. And then the cells of living body use food they are using food constantly, and because every second, how many times do you breathe in a minute? Can anybody tell me? Who knows the answer? Just raise the hand. And one person is maintaining the performance record. Yes, Ramsha, very good. Yeah, Rachna, tell me.
Approximately 60 times according to per second per time.
Per second, 60 respirations.
You heard it? Hello.
Inhale and exhale in a second, 60
Yes,
times.
yes.
You're doing it 60 times in a second? No.
No, 30 times inhale, 30 times exhale.
Exhale and inhale in a second or in a minute?
One in a second. So in a minute, it's 30 times.
Yeah. So you are inhaling and exhaling. Inhale 30 times, exhale simultaneously has to take place. So the cell of all living bodies use food constantly, and respiration helps in the functions properly. They require the presence of a gas and food material and some chemicals. How is energy released? For that you need a gas. So can anybody tell me which component of the gas do we need for release of energy? Raise your hands who knows the answer. So when you need energy, you need three things. That is one gas, the other is food materials and some chemicals. So which gas is required for the release of energy? Any guess? You have done Presley's experiment also where carbon dioxide when
ma'am, oxygen.
Yes, oxygen, very good. So when you inhale in oxygen, okay, when the food is broken down, the carbon dioxide is released. So here you see that, and what are the chemicals that are released? You have already seen that all the digestive juices that are released in stomach, duodenum, from your liver, pancreas. So after that, these are the chemicals that are released. So how is it burning the food, this oxygen gas, and then food inside and the chemicals? And when you are inhale out carbon dioxide, you inhale in oxygen and exhale out carbon dioxide. Okay, so the term respiration, we call it respiration. I told you don't get Ashas and others. Everybody please switch on your camera. So this respiration, most of the words are derived from Latin or Greek. So the word respire means breathe. It refers to a whole chain of process in which you are inhaling air, that is oxygen, which has to reach each and every part of your body. Okay. So you can see how in this figure it's shown. So how is it reaching to each and every alveoli of your lungs? Now let us see the term respiration that has come into use a century after the word breathing was used in 14th century In 14th century, this word was coined, and it was used much before the air is a mixture. We knew that air is a mixture of gases. So when you inhale in air, your lungs and the alveoli that are present in the lungs are responsible for purifying and picking out only oxygen from it. So Levieser and Presley were the two scientists in 18th century whose comprehensive work on gases and the exchange of respiration were explained, and this process of gaseous exchange goes inside the body and comes out of the body. It's in all living organisms, including human beings. So let us, but is it whatever the Levieser or Presley has done in 14th century was an hypothesis, or can you prove it? So let's do this experiment to make sure that what Levieser and Presley was talking was true, whether the exchange of gases really takes place. So how did he do is, Levieser, he carried out several experiments on the properties of the gases. And the gas that liberated on heating powdered charcoal in a bell jar kept over water. You can see how this in this picture it's been shown. So what is he doing? The combustion of phosphorus in the bell jar. You can see this bell jar over here, and he has shown that the atmospheric air, it combines with phosphorus, and either in air or itself or another elastic fluid present in certain proportion of the air to breathe. So you can see in this is a bell jar. And can you all see a bell jar and identify the difference between a bell jar and a normal jar? If you have any
Yes.
doubts, yeah,
Yes.
everybody understood? If anybody has a doubt, please raise your hand. Don't just silently sit and later you'll have problems, you'll not understand, because the basic principles which you have to understand in respiration. So now, you know, a certain proportion of the air that is breathed out, you can see how it is when you are breathing out. So the respirable air component of the air that also helps in burning. So which is the gas that helps in burning? Gas that helps in burning. Earlier also we have done that experiment in nutrition.
Oxygen.
Oxygen is the gas that helps in burning. So the air in which the combustion of metals has been carried out, and the one which has served for respiration. Okay. So now you can see the air in which combustion of metals have been carried out, and that served in combustion. That is nothing but oxygen. So you see, even fire needs oxygen to burn. So he deduced that there are two processes involved in respiration, and that are probably we probably knew only one. So he carried out another experiment. The volume of ventilated air consists of chalky acid gas, the appropriate amount of air needed for burning or respirable air. So you can see these are the alveoli of the lungs. This is a chalky acid gas. So this existing gas must also be removed. So the logical conclusion regarding the process of respiration is either eminently respirable air is changed in the lungs to chalky acid air, or an exchange takes place. The gaseous exchange takes place. So how is this gaseous exchange takes place into the alveoli of a lung? You see, this is an other air where it is combining with the blood to form a red color. Red color of the blood is because of the presence of a pigment. Can anybody name the pigment that is present in the blood that gives red color to it?
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin.
Yeah, very good. So hemoglobin. So here what is happening? Water and oxygen gas outlet the action upon one another, and all the physical phenomenon takes place. So the body expels out water, oxides of carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, and others in a major component. And this process of respiration was discovered in 19th century by Levieser. So this H2O and carbon, one molecule of carbon and 2 molecules of oxygen combined together. The event involved not very clearly understood, but believed that there was some relationship of heat produced in the body in the process of respiration. So during respiration, heat is produced. So let us see what all are the events and the steps that takes place in respiration. So there is no strict demarcation of the events involved in the process of respiration. It's very complex process of several biochemical and the physical process. So one by one, let us see what all are the process that takes place in combustion. But for a general understanding, it goes on breathing, gaseous exchange. Okay. So you can see how it has happened. This is called cellular respiration, where you are breathing in air. And this is in cellular respiration, what is happening? Using oxygen in the cell process to produce carbon dioxide, and water is released, releasing energy to be formed. Now, in this process, let us see what is breathing. Breathing is a process of inhaling and exhaling. The entire process of inhaling, taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide is called breathing. So now let us set up an experiment to see how this entire process of breathing is happening. So in this, what we are doing in this setup, we have taken lime water and it turns milky white fast as we breathe out into it as compared to the similar setup. So when we are breathing out, why is lime water turning milky? Can anybody tell? Please switch on your cameras. How many times do I have to tell you to switch on your cameras? Yes. Safi, Aisha, and
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So why is it milky? Lime water turns milky.
Okay, because of carbon dioxide entering into it.
Yes, very good. Because you know the carbon dioxide enters into it. Nobody is answering except Ramsha. Only Ramsha will be getting the marks for your performance, everyday's performance marks. So now let us see what happens here. So a normal air was passed with the help of a syringe and or a pitchkari in the lime water. And the path of air in our body through our respiration system and the mechanism of breathing in respiration to find out exhaled air comes out of it, to make sure that exhaled air comes out. So the respiratory system means the passage that transports air to the lungs and to the microscopic air sacs in them are called alveoli or vice versa. So remember, these are the cells that are made, as I told you, that a group of cells that having the same functions are called tissues. So this group of alveoli forms a tissue and then an organ. So, and a group of tissues performing same functions forms an organ. So that is how, you know, if you can keep your palm around an inch away from your nose, you feel breathing in and breathing out. Can you do it? Just see it for 2 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the air that is going into you inside, so the one which is going inside, what temperature is it, hot or cool?
Cool.
Cool. The one which is coming out is warm, isn't it?
Warm.
So
Yes.
that is what combustion. So what is happening? This entire process, during this entire process, your oxygen within a second, you can see that the air you have inhaled and exhaling out in a second. So this process of energy formation is taking within the seconds into your body. How is this process taking place? So you can even see in this in this activity, he is showing how he is inhaling. Like this process you can do, or you can keep your finger under your nostrils and you can observe this. Now you can take a piece of any fruit, chew, and before swallowing it, keep the finger of the other palm and then observe. So now let us see the mechanism of respiration. The lungs themselves can neither draw in air nor push it out. So how is it all happening? Instead, the chest wall muscles and another flexible flattened muscle called a diaphragm that helps the lungs in moving air in and out from them. So there is, you can see this blue colored diaphragm. So this is a muscle that helps in inhaling. It's not the lungs, but this diaphragm which pushes it up and down whenever you inhale or exhale out the gas. So this is very interesting and very complicated also. So look at it carefully. So the diaphragm might be imagined as the floor of the chest cavity or as in a room. It's a floor of a room or a chest cavity. And when it is relaxed, you can see that it's in a shape of a dome extending into the chest cavity. And when the diaphragm contracts, it flattens out a bit or a dome moves downwards as a result of volume of the chest cavity. So you contracts is when it is contracting, it is taking in oxygen, and when it is expanding, it's giving out carbon dioxide. So you can see that how this movement of diaphragm is helping to inhale in and exhale out. Yes, Ashas.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
what's the that's bone right in the middle and covering the lungs?
This is the tracheal bone that joins all the ribs of the lungs. The lungs are covered by a rib cage. You will come to know about it as we move further. So there is a rib cage that is covering it. So in between, that is the trachea that joins all these ribs.
So, ma'am, those ribs also move with the
Along,
lungs.
no, ribs does not move. The alveoli, the ribs remain as it is. It's just a cage that is covered to protect. Whereas your lungs, inside all the cells of the lungs, when it is pushing it, they are all elastic in nature. So they expand and they contract.
Okay.
Here it looks as a rib cage, but rib cage should not be moving. So in inhalation is inspiration when you take in inwards and relaxes, and these changes increase the pressure on the lung. When you see the chest volume, can you see it?
Yes.
How inhaling and exhaling it takes place. Then when it is exhaling, you can see that is relaxing. Lungs gets relaxed. So this pattern of breathing shows there is a co-originate of movement, and this movement needs both oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange that takes place. So this exchange is called gaseous exchange. So let us see how this gaseous exchange is taking place inside the lungs. It takes place within the lungs by a diffusion, and lungs in the vertebrates are made of several thousand of small chambers called alveoli. So these chambers inside are called alveoli, and this takes place. And each alveoli is supplied with a branch of bronchiole and with capillaries, which brings deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated, can anybody guess and tell me what is oxygenated blood and what is deoxygenated blood? Oxygenated blood, by its term itself, you know that.
Yes.
It turns itself into carbon dioxide.
No, oxygenated means the blood contains oxygen. You call it oxygen.
Yeah.
and you call it deoxygenated when there is no oxygen into it, and instead of that it contains carbon dioxide. Okay, so inside the alveoli, this is a very important diagram. Please draw this diagram. Body, we have to exhale it out. Okay, so you can just see that how the fresh air, oxygenated air comes in, and deoxygenated air is breathed out of its body, and this breathing out mechanism helps in getting rid of carbon dioxide. Okay, at the same time, carbon dioxide passes out of the capillaries into an alveoli when we breathe out. So that is how you see the whole mechanism from your nostrils to lungs, what's happening. So this bright red rich blood rich component is what you see is oxygenated. When it is when it is shown reddish in color in your diagrams, that means it is oxygenated one, and the bluish one is deoxygenated, where carbon dioxide. When it is blue, that means carbon dioxide is there. When it is red, oxygen is there. Here he has shown with the symbols also. Red is for oxygen and blue is for carbon dioxide. So as a result of gaseous exchange, the composition of inhaled and exhaled air is different. Composition is different because blood is combining with oxygen, so the chemical formula will be different, and when it combines with carbon dioxide, the chemical formula is different. That is the chemical composition. And you can even see the physical change. Physical change, can anybody tell me what is the physical change you see in oxygenated and deoxygenated blood? Physical means appearance. Can you see any change in the appearance? What is it?
The deoxygenated has no blood inside.
No, it has got blood. Deoxygenated is also, that is going back to your heart. Now when you go to transportation, you'll understand how this deoxygenated blood is purified again by your heart. So there is one physical change in oxygenated and deoxygenated, because of which you could, just now I told you, you can make out that whether the blood is oxygenated or deoxygenated.
Yes, I think the color differentiates.
Yes, very good. Ashas, can you tell me what is the color of the oxygenated blood and what's the color of deoxygenated blood?
The oxygenated color is red,
Yes.
dark red.
Yes.
And deoxygenated color is colorless, white.
It's blue.
Blue.
Yeah. So,
Ma'am,
yes.
Deoxygenated blood is also known as carbon dioxide. No, na.
No, deoxygenated blood is blood combined with oxygen, carbon dioxide. Means it is deoxygen.
Okay.
Oxygen is not there. It is combining with carbon dioxide. So as a result of gaseous exchange, the composition of inhaled and exhaled air is different. So we have seen how the composition has taken place. So now we can say that gas, 100% inhaled air and 100% exhaled air. So the inhaled oxygen, while you are inhaling, it is 21%, and when you are exhaling, it's 16%. And you inhale 0.04 carbon dioxide and exhale out this. So please write down this chart. The one 79% of nitrogen should be exhaled out. If not, then your lungs has to be tested to know why it is not, it is keeping it inside, because these are all the toxic gases that has to come out of our body. Okay. So transportation of the gases, we'll see how in detail how it is happening. The relative of the amount of the gases and the combining capacity with hemoglobin and other substance in the blood determines the transport via blood in our body. So that is how is your blood? Your blood will combine with more with oxygen. Okay. So other gases, it's not combining. That's the reason they had to come out of our body. So when the oxygen present in the air is within normal limit, then almost all of it is called as the body binding to hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is again a pigment which is responsible for the red color of the blood, as chlorophyll in the leaves are responsible for the green color. So we have got only 1 minute left. So please go through this entire exercise and come back tomorrow so that, you know, we'll go further. And you have got any doubts, we'll clarify it. You have got 1 minute to ask me if you have got any doubts, or else we'll continue from here for tomorrow. Yes, Ramsha.
What's our homework then?
In your homework is you have to go through what all is taught today. Okay, so if any concepts you are not able to understand, we'll discuss them first and then we'll move further. The next topics in respiration. And how is your preparation going on for FA1s?
For what?
Alhamdulillah, it's going well.
Good. Formative
SMS.
For now.
assessment. For formative assessment one.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
For
So-
me, it's going well.
Well, very good. And for in bio
Yes,
also.
ma'am, we are trying.
Yes. What happened to Alina? Please contact her. Why is she not joining the classes?
Ma'am, she
She
is
was in the morning.
outside.
Yes, yes.
She was in
She's-
the morning, but after lunch, I think she didn't join the classes.
Yeah.
So what's the problem after lunch? What happened to her?
Ma'am, I asked her, she said that she is in outside.
Okay.
She went.
So please tell her to join the classes. Otherwise, she will find it very, anyhow, this video I am going to